We're dealing with government officials, government contracting officers, and mission folks who they have a lot on their plates. As I've been hearing throughout the breakout sessions during the last few hours, that's becoming very clear. There is money available for work. There is money being pumped through the system, but the contracting officers have limited time. A capability statement is one piece of that. It's a way to get your message across, tell the story, get the attention of the contracting officers. I'm going to say something weird. I'm going to say I've read over the years, the many years I've been doing this, I've read, I don't know, dozens, hundreds, of capability statements. I'm going to tell you something right now that I'm finding again and again. Most do not help the company that wrote them. Most actually hurt because they're not getting your message across succinctly. And that contracting officer who's reading dozens of these has a limited attention span. And the information overload these days is such that you've got to get that person's attention and establish your credibility from the get-go. So over the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to try to change how you think about this document. I know I've changed how I think about the document in getting ready for this talk. You can't think of it as a brochure. It's not marketing collateral. I think it is one of the single most capture tools that we have at our disposal. By capture, I mean one of the steps to position your company as someone who has something of interest for the mission you're addressing. I hope by the end of the session, you'll be able to look back and take a hard look at your own capability statements and really be able to assess them, both yourself and your colleagues and people whose opinions you respect, and say, no kidding, does this do the trick? All right, I'm going to dive right in. So, as I said, the single biggest mistake I've seen, and I've seen this really across industries, across supplier tiers, across services, across whatever your company, whatever service you provide, whatever tool you provide, whatever product you provide, is that companies treat their capability statements like a marketing product, as I said, but they're really not. They don't live on your website to inspire visitors. They don't sit in a trade show booth like a brochure to make your brand look sharp. They don't exist to tell the world who you are or who you think you are. They live before either the proposal or the SIBR or the germ of an idea that a mission has. Before that even gets out, they live in the hands of the contracting officer whose inbox, or the program officer whose inbox this lands in. And that person has 40, 50, 60 submissions to get through. You have to make sure yours stands out. It could live on the desk of the prime, if you're looking to team, of that prime's capture manager, who's building a team for a bid that's due in 3 weeks' time. Or it lives in the hands of a small business liaison officer who's deciding right now, today, whether to invite you to an industry day. These people are not your audience for a brochure. They're decision makers under time pressure. Your capability statement is one input into whether they say yes to engaging you on their next move or inviting you to their next industry day. So when you sit down to write this document, or more likely, as most people do, when you pull the ones that you've been using for years and years and years, just stop, and stop asking, does this thing look good? And start asking yourself, does it help someone make a decision about my company in the next 30 seconds? That's what's important. And that shift from a marketing mindset to what I call a capture mindset, because that's what I live and breathe, is capture, is what I'm talking about today. Okay,